Hi guys, what's up? It's Amanda here, and welcome back to my channel, Hoot of the Sims. So I am recording two voiceovers in a row, and they're both for builds. So this one was a very interesting build because I did my first ever shell challenge. And when I say I did my first ever shell challenge, I hosted my own first ever shell challenge. Now, this was kind of a tricky build because I had the theme set as eco-friendly, so you had to take the shell and run with that theme and just create something that would work with the theme as well as the shell. So it was really, really interesting. A few rules that I had set in place were that you couldn't, change any of the exterior walls or the interior floor plan that I had set. You could add windows, you could add doors wherever you'd like. The staircase had to stay the same shape in the same location. You can rotate the shell, you can add terrain, whatever you feel like doing, as long as you don't change the actual shape of the structure. So here I am doing my own shell challenge. It was a very interesting process because I don't think I've done many shell challenges in the past ever. And let alone hosting my own shell challenge. So this is kind of a really new thing for me to do and experience. And again, the theme was eco-friendly, so going green. And anybody, it's so interesting with shells because you start with that same structure, but people make so many different looking, things and builds out of it. And it's just so interesting to see how people's minds work, basically, because mine is so different than all the other shells that I have looked at with the submissions. So it's just a really fun and interesting process to kind of go through. At first I was thinking, let's do some dark black colors because I never do that with modern builds. And then I was like, you know what? Let's stick with the white clean theme because it is earthy, it's eco-friendly. I don't think you'd want dark colors in that kind of build, so I stuck with a white theme throughout. I also had some kind of neutral wood tones to kind of accent and make it seem a little bit more earthy and eco-friendly, but here I am also making a detached garage. So it was just a really interesting process, and as you guys can see, I do have a glass wall pool. Yes, I've been doing those very frequently in my recent builds because I finally figured out how they work. They are a little bit complicated when working with other foundations that are attached to it. You'll see that throughout. I've had to rebuild that same pool and that same foundation structure that the pool sits in a couple of times because for some reason, if you're changing a foundation, it changes all of the foundations to that same color, so then you lose your transparency pool, and that's just never a fun thing. So you have to kind of be very careful when working with that feature. Again, if you guys are wondering how to do that, there are so many tutorials. I'll probably just link them in the description on the ones that I figured out on how to do this. But I believe Kate Emerald made one and a couple other people as well. I'll find the one that I referenced and I will put it in the description, I promise. But it was just a really interesting kind of feature for this house, and this was also kind of annoying. I started using a lot of pedestals, and they're really, really annoying to deal with because you have to size them down, you have to rotate them, you have to match them up, and then you also have gaps when working with foundations, so, I mean, not foundations, but terrain, so that's also kind of a, a fun thing I had to deal with while doing this build, but again, I really like how it turned out. Again, eco-friendly. I went with a modern theme. But so many of the people who did my shell challenge went with more of a traditional, Victorian style, but it also, it's just, this theme can go so many ways, and it's just incredible how different people, make their shells from the same structure. It's just a really fun process, and if you haven't done a shell challenge, I would highly recommend looking into doing one in the future. But yeah, so my concept for this build was to have a complete flat roof, and you may be wondering why have a flat roof? That's kind of weird. I wanted to go with a complete rooftop look. So it's just a flat rooftop where your Sims could have like a garden up there. Kind of just like a hangout spot, and it's just really good for Sims that want to go green and stuff. Guys, I really do apologize that this video is also so fast because my thought process was all over the place and I was kind of building super slow. It didn't get much done and I had really long recordings, so I was like, oh god, how is this gonna turn out? It is a little too fast in my opinion, but I hope it's okay with you guys. You can get the gist of the build. And honestly, when the builds go by faster, it also kind of like, you know what I mean? You can see it coming together like in your eyes really, really fast. It's just a really, really fun thing to do. I love speed builds. But yeah, this was just a very fun build to do. Again, if you guys want to do one of my future build challenges, I would definitely do my Discord, or join my Discord, I should say. And I will put that also in the link in the description below, as a link in the description below, I should say. But yeah, it was just a really, I don't know, this was just, probably one of my better builds in general. I definitely wanted a water feature. I didn't know exactly where I wanted to put it, but, I decided to put it kind of like near the entrance, so it's a little zen feeling. This was a lot of work to do, by the way. Positioning waterfalls in the right level in a terrain is very, very hard, and if you guys want a tutorial on that as well, I would also look up Kate Emerald. She basically like put the waterfall kind of below the foundation and then raised it up, and that's kind of what I ended up doing as well, I believe, because it kind of sinks lower than the pool shelf, and that's just not a good look. So but you can also kind of hide that as well by using rocks and raising rocks up. Using debug rocks I would highly recommend, because if you use the in-game rocks, it's going to look very repetitive. It's not going to look as natural, so I decided to go with a lot of different styled debug rocks. And if you guys are really like wondering how to access that debug menu, all you have to do is make sure your testing cheat is already on, and also type in bb.moveobjects after that. And then from there, you have to type in the bb.showHiddenObjects and then bb.showLiveEditObjects. And that is what unlocks the thousands upon thousands of hidden items in the game. Before this feature came out, I honestly want to say that this game, The Sims 4, was kind of lacking in general for like just really cool items that would make houses kind of unique. Because most of the time people just use the in-game stuff, which is not a problem, obviously, but I feel like adding debug in really changed the game for me personally, just because you've got so many different items that we didn't have before, and you could just make so many more unique lots. As you can see, all of those plants are also from debug, so it just, it really changed the game in my opinion, and I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I feel like this game is way more improved and better with these new debug items. And now here, I'm trying to figure out where I want to put a staircase to the second level, or was it to the rooftop? I can't remember what I was deciding there because there's already a staircase inside. You guys could obviously have added a basement to this. That was not against the rules, as long as you're not changing the structure, is all I said. So you could have added a basement, but then again, you know, it's an eco-friendly home. Basements are probably not not on the first the memo. So I don't even think I have a washer and dryer inside this house. I think I put laundry bins and one of the wash tubs for laundry outside on that big long patio on the side of the house. So I did really stick with that going green vibe. It was just, I don't know, this was a blast to make. It really, really was. So, and if you guys are trying to figure out how to make homes a little bit more eco-friendly looking, I would honestly stick to a, what would you say? What would I call that? Kind of like a brown modern theme, which was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of interesting to do. Or like a log cabin. I feel like those are also very eco-friendly looking, so. But here I am changing the foundation once again and then having to rebuild that pool structure all over again. It was a pain in the butt, but it got the job done, and as you guys can see, I really like using that, the spa day wallpaper in there because it doesn't really make the pool look super blue, and it actually looks like a pool that way. So it was just, I don't know, it was a really fun thing to figure out. And here I'm also struggling with making a wall with this foundation and adding a fence basically. So it was such a process, guys. It is such a process working with those glass pools. But again, the only way you can make glass pools is if you have the pack get together. So unfortunately, you can't make those glass pools with base game, but I think there are people who have found some workarounds to this, especially if you have the Solani pack as well. You can kind of like build a deck in the ocean and make it look like a pool, like an infinity pool, I think is what they're called, by just adding like, I don't know, debug items to look like a wall in certain parts, and then like having windows for your glass feature walls and stuff like that. So there are some workarounds, and again, link in the description to help you guys out there. But yeah, this was just a really, really fun idea that I had, and it honestly, like, it kind of all came together. I was kind of surprised how well this turned out, to be honest with you, because I didn't think it'd be very eco-friendly, because it's, you know, you think modern, you think advanced technology, you think, basically, like, not eco-friendly, really, because it's got, like, you know, you would imagine this house would have, like, good security cameras and suck a lot of electricity and this and that. But my thought process of that was, if I found a debug item that made it seem a little bit more eco-friendly, then it would definitely work with the theme. And eventually I put a windmill in the backyard. So my thought process was that this house takes all of its power from the windmill. And I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but I feel like we do need more eco-friendly things in The Sims 4. Like, I think they should add recycling, maybe, I don't know, like some recycling bins, some solar panels, like, just more eco-friendly things, because honestly, eco-friendly homes are a lot of fun to make and to work with. So I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but that's just my thought process on this. It was kind of hard sticking to the theme and actually making it work, but debug definitely helped. Without that windmill, I don't think this house would have really fit the eco-friendly vibe. So I mean, we have a greenhouse, so that's good, right? I don't know. But as you can see, it's not a small shell, so that also kind of makes it a little bit difficult to kind of put out the eco-friendly vibes, but everybody did such a good job. Submissions are due basically this Friday, so by the time this video is out, I bet you submissions are already going to be done, and I will probably already have been touring them. But I am touring them this Saturday, and Saturday is what? Saturday is May 2nd, so tours are on May 2nd around 7 p.m. Central Time. So if I put this video out before and you guys are interested in this shell, you can definitely do the shell. All you have to do is upload this build, the shell, to the gallery by using the hashtag HootBuildChallenge03, and you will be entered. And again, if you get it in on time, I will tour them on Saturday night. So that's really, really fun. But yeah, it's just, it was, oh God, this was so hard to work with. You guys have no idea how hard it is to move a structure onto a raised terrain and making it look real and work with the build. It was just oh my God, it was a process. It was a process, let me tell you. And the backyard was like kind of huge, so that's kind of why I went with a garage. I wanted to make it look a little bit more like realistic, like this house could actually exist in real life kind of thing. But it was just, I don't know, it was so fun. So I wanted to add a little pond in the backyard. Like maybe they get their rainwater from the pond. Maybe they fish in the pond. Like who knows what they do in the pond. But I just wanted like a natural water feature as well, because there are fountains everywhere. But I just wanted the idea of like maybe they get the water from the rain and that's how they fuel every single thing in here, like even the pool. Maybe they had to wait for the rainwater and then they treated it with their, you know, their bio-free chemicals or something like that for the pool. I don't know. But yeah, it was just, oh my God, this build was a lot a lot to do. Terrain can be also kind of a pain to make this look realistic. As you guys can tell, when you raise terrain up, you get this like nasty dirt looking stuff. It doesn't fit your grass color. It's just to indicate that there's a hill, which I think is kind of annoying, but there are some workarounds to hiding that kind of stuff. And what I do is, again, I take debug rocks, I go down to the basement level, and I actually raise up rocks so they look like they are jutting out of the hill. And I highly recommend you guys checking out that kind of process. As you can see, I am adjusting them underground and kind of lining them up with rocks that are already on the surface, so you can kind of get an idea of where they should be located once you get them all together in a bunch. This process can be kind of annoying, but again, it's also just, it just looks super, super nice. It looks really, really natural if you use a variety of rocks in different colors. So I highly recommend you guys trying this trick out as well. It just makes it look a lot more natural, a lot less man-made. It looks like they built this home on a hill, maybe like a mountain even. Like maybe this lot was demolished and there was a mountain once, and this is on the hill that is now used to be a mountain that is now a hill. You know what I mean? So you gotta get really creative with working with terrain. Sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's not, but again, you just have to try things out and it will eventually work. As you can see, it's just a lot of trial and error, And I don't know what I was thinking here, because this took so long to do. I wanted it to look like they were planting basically like grass or like cat grass or whatever it may be into this raised kind of like flower bed type of thing. I don't know. It was a very, very weird thing to do. So I used these pedestals from Get Famous and I sized them down and I put them in a line as straight as possible to look like it was kind of bordering off the neighborhood and also framing the driveway connecting to the garage. So it was just, oh my god, I don't recommend doing this just because it took me so long. But if you are looking for something like unique to try out with your builds, then I would give it a go. It took a lot of time, a lot of thinking, a lot of concentration, but again, the finished product of this just looked absolutely incredible. I've never done anything like this before. I think this is my first build that I use these pedestals in. I got the idea actually as well from Kate Emerald because she's a literal building goddess, so I would highly recommend checking out her videos. I just got the idea from watching her speed builds because they are absolutely insane and incredible. And that's what I recommend to you guys. If you're wanting to start to build and like you're kind of struggling a little bit, you don't know where to start, watch some speed builds. You'll get a bunch of ideas on how you can landscape things. And I recommend starting out as well to basically reference real life houses. And I know that sounds kind of strange, but your mind can work in 1,000 different ways, and if you are thinking about a build off the top of your head and you don't know what the backyard looks like versus the front, vice versa, it can be really hard and discouraging. So I just recommend you guys checking out some real life homes, like maybe look on Google, look on Zillow, whatever you need to do. But this process has really helped me grow as a builder. I just love referencing builds, and even when you start referencing a build, it turns out so different than what the actual house looks like. You know what I mean? Like, you'll like certain things from the house, but then you're like, wait, I can do this instead. And it works. So, I just recommend looking at a bunch of different houses and trying things out that way, and eventually you will get your building style down, I promise you. But I also wanted an outdoor feature kitchen because, again, this is an eco-friendly house. I feel like they would spend a lot of time outside in their garden and swimming in their natural pool that they have. So I added a lot of outdoor living spaces here. I also added that fireplace to kind of signify that they might like wood fire grill pizzas or something like that, with wood that they get from their trees, like they have a tree farm or something like that. So it's just, it was, oh my god, this build was all over the place, you guys. I don't even know how to explain it, but it was a blast. I really liked this build. It took a long time, but again, if you want a really nice build, you gotta have the patience And you gotta have the time. I did this in so many different sessions because I lost interest and I got frustrated really, really fast while building this. So I recommend taking breaks as well. And eventually you'll get it down, you'll get your motivation, and slowly but surely you'll get the build done, I promise. But inside, again, I wanted it to be eco-friendly, but I also wanted this to be modern. And as you can see, it's very modern on the outside, so I went with a modern kind of furnishing style in the inside. And you guys might be wondering why I put 2 trash cans there. Again, I wanted one of them to be for recycling and one of them to be for trash. So I actually went onto the gallery and found not a custom content painting. I don't know exactly what they're called. I guess they no CC custom painting, I guess. I don't know. There are a lot of gallery creators that create paintings from having their Sims paint by reference, and then they upload them without CC. So it's basically they paint a CC item, and then it's just it's a whole process. I've done this before and it's so hard to do, so like props to the gallery creators, but you guys know what I mean. You can find like custom gallery paintings and use them in your builds CC free. So I found this kind of, it's like a recycling sign, I suppose, with a recycling symbol on the gallery, and I put it next to or on top of one of these trash cans, so it's a recycling and garbage bin. And then in this tiny little room, I didn't exactly know what I wanted to go there, but I recently, like right after, right before this build, right before I started this part of the build, I did a live stream, and I think I don't know, it was like playing a Hunter Baby or something. It doesn't matter. But I was like, you know what? I kind of want to make a streamer room where your Sims can like pretend to stream. So I made a little streamer room, and I think it turned out really cute. I've never done anything like that before, but it was on my mind, okay? So maybe this person like is an activist for gardening, and she live streams gardening or something like that. That was my idea behind it. But as you can see here, I'm in the greenhouse. I'm putting a bunch of plants, maybe like flower arrangements that she sells as a hobby, from growing the flowers around her house and on her rooftop. And she puts these arrangements together, and she's gonna eventually sell them to the public. Not sure. And then here I was trying to find some like garden tools that I could put on the table and debug as well, just to make it seem a little bit more, I don't know, like accurate, I guess, more valid. I don't know. But I promise you guys, I do go back. I do go back to the greenhouse, I promise. But my building style is like literally all over the place. Like I will be thinking about one thing and then I'll just jump and do it so I don't forget about it. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I was doing the greenhouse. Let's go back. So here I am back in the greenhouse. I decided to look through and try to find some like, I don't know, eco-friendly like pesticide sprays so they can like treat their plants and make sure they don't get sick, and they can get rid of bacteria on them or like bugs trying to attack the plants. And I found some cute decorations from Season. So I put a rake down, a shovel down, I put like a sandbox bucket down, I put a leaf blower down. And then on this side I was like, you know what, maybe those are her fake flowers on the other side. Like maybe she somehow preserves the flowers and keeps them for flower arrangements for herself. And then on this side, these are real flowers that spoil, that she sells on the street in, I don't know, like San Myshuno festivals or something like that. So I don't know, very, very interesting concept here. And as you can see, I did type in another cheat. That was the unlock game place entitlement. So that allows you to use all the items that you can unlock from careers freely without doing that, because I had moved in a sim just to test things out and making sure the house functions, and it does, I promise you. But I typed that cheat in so I could get the greenhouse looking lights, and I put them in the garage as well as the greenhouse. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, this is a really fun build. And inside the garage, I even put like a woodworking station because I didn't want it to just have a car in there. I wanted there to actually be a function for the garage. And again, I don't think I put a door to go into the garage, so that you guys might have to modify it a little bit. Because there's no way to get into the garage. There is literally no way. It's just there for aesthetic purposes, but if you actually want to use this cool workbench area that I'm creating right now, you're gonna have to add a door somewhere and some paths to get here, because I actually completely forgot to do that. Looking back at this build, that was something that I just thought of, and I was like, oh, frick, I remember I didn't put a door anywhere. So, if you guys actually want to use this, you could teleport your Sims in, or you could just add and extend the pathway and create a side door to go into the garage. So, there's that. But going back to the inside of the house, I wanted to go with like blue, green themes because again, it's an earthy build. It's eco-friendly. And I actually did put a washer and dryer. Very interesting. Okay, so I think my thought process on that was like maybe they shut their. I think it's because maybe I thought that they could shut their water off and only use it on like rare occasions for when it's raining outside, because nobody wants to do their laundry when it is raining. And your laundry gets completely soaked and so on and so forth. So I think that was my process on adding a little laundry room area. Plus, you know, it's stacked. It's pretty content. It's very, very contained in that one small area. So I don't think it's a big deal. But you have your options with your laundry in this house, okay? You've got the indoor laundry on rainy days, and you've got your outdoor laundry on every day that's sunny of the year. So you've got your options. And here I was like, you know what? I kind of wanted to go with these darker wood tones for this, but I also wanted like, I guess, an entertaining space. I think I eventually ended up using cabinets here instead. Yes, I did. Because I never do this. I always forget that you can do this and make it look like, basically like an entertainment center that frames your TV in. So I decided to do that for this build. I thought it was a really fun idea. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you like this or not. And I will put more in my builds in the future. And then here, I was like, you know what? Maybe this person passed their time by doing musical instruments and stuff, playing the piano, playing the violin, so on and so forth. So I went on the gallery. As you can see, I'm actually showing you my process here, and I found some, you know, art, music kind of themed paintings that I felt like would work to frame the fact that this person is musically inclined. So I used these paintings, sized them down. Credited the creators, of course. If you're going to be using custom gallery paintings, make sure you use hashtags to thank the creator for putting their work out there, because it takes a lot of time. It's definitely not an easy thing to do, but these people put out like, I don't know, thousands of these CC paintings. They're not even CC. Why do I keep calling them CC? You know what I mean, though. Just be grateful for them, because they do put a lot of effort into them, and crediting them is always something you should be doing. So just keep that in mind if you're ever going to use the gallery paintings in your builds. So future reference, but yeah. And then instantly I was like, you know what? I want the tiny living towel rack. I really, really do. And I put that in there instead of the medicine cabinet look, and I found a lot of debug items in here. As you can see, I'm putting knives, toothbrushes, lipstick, chapstick, eyeliner, eyeshadow, everything imaginable to make this feel like it's actually lived in. Putting coffee mugs out there, so on and so forth. So it's, again, debug is a really fun thing to explore, and I highly recommend you guys checking it out. I really, really, really do. But yeah, this is, I don't even know what to say here, you guys. This build was just a lot to figure out and a lot to handle, a lot to deal with. And as you can see that little like doggy shampoo, but like right next to it, there's like a little bottle. It looks like medicine. Do you want to know what it actually is in debug? It said vanilla extract, but I was like, you know what? This looks like cough medicine, so I'm gonna put this in the bathroom too. So I promise you, Sims don't actually drink vanilla extract. That would be kind of weird. But my thought process was that it kind of looks like medicine, so I'll add it into the bathroom. And then in here throughout, I also went with kind of like a beachy vibe, because again, this person's for green energy. They are for saving the planet. They're for rescuing our oceans, so on and so forth. So I put, you know, just ocean tones everywhere and ocean paintings, and added a home gym, so they're kind of like reducing their carbon footprint. They do everything at their house. They don't ever have to leave. My idea of the family living here is that it's like a very young couple, like maybe a millennial couple who lives here and are all for green energy. They both work from home. One of them is a streamer, one of them is a gardener, and they just sell things at the market. So that was kind of the concept I went for with this build. And again, here's me taking all of the all of these custom gallery paintings and like actually creating a word with it, so it looks like it says exercise in the workout room. I thought that was really creative, but I don't recommend doing this because, again, some of these alphabets only include one of each letter, so you have to place down like 3 different walls just to create the word exercise. But I think it was definitely worth it, and I don't know. I really like the vibe of this workout room. Again, earthy tones. It's sticking with the same theme. I went with more like, I guess, modern looking workout machines because I figured that looked a little bit more eco-friendly, I guess, and it also kind of fit the modern vibes of the house as well. And if you guys don't know who Surf Chick Creation is, she is like one of my favorite custom gallery painting creators. I'm not even kidding you. She's got some of the best stuff. Same for Jewel64. Like, creds to both of you. You guys are amazing. Keep up with your work. Love what you're doing. Because for me, I always tend to build houses with like an ocean theme because I myself I'm really into the ocean. If you guys haven't heard about me, like my spiels on it and stuff, I'm all for green energy. I'm all for the ocean. I'm all for saving the planet, basically. And even before I was an activist for being eco-friendly, I always felt kind of connection, like a weird connection, I guess, to the ocean that I've never felt with anything before, besides, my family and friends. But you know what I mean? I always feel like I'm at home when I'm on the beach, so I always tend to have like a beach kind of vibe in my builds, and I hope you guys enjoy that. But Surf Chick Creation really like lets me explore that creativity and share it with you guys and my passion for the ocean. As you can see, I'm doing a little fish painting in this toddler room and so on and so forth, sticking to the blue theme. But yeah, this room was really hard to lay out, okay, because it's kind of small. It's like a 3 by, is that a 3 by 2? I don't even know. And it's like so oddly shaped, but I definitely wanted a young child to also live here. Like maybe they adopted this kid, maybe they had this kid, but I wanted this kind of to be like basically like a young family home where everybody is more eco-friendly, but they also allow their kids to have these pets and stuff. So I put a hamster in there, and I put like the really cute like wall stickers to make it look like the hamster's crawling on the wall, like maybe they extended the tubes into the wall, so on and so forth. And I just really wanted to explore that as well. And maybe this is the other person's home office, or like maybe this is where the Twitch streamer or the Mixer streamer or the YouTuber, the SimTuber I should say, does their editing up here or something like that. Or maybe the other person also writes books and does like part-time jobs online as well. So that was my concept. I wanted a little bit more of like I guess like a formal office, and then maybe they take pictures of their travels, or those are eco-friendly like flyers that they found that they saved because they're trying to start their own foundation. You know what I mean? Like it was just my process was everywhere here, so I really didn't know what I was doing. But as these rooms came together, I just pictured this cute young couple with a couple of kids living here, being, just living their best lives with green energy and just, you know what I mean? It was just, I don't know, this is a blast. This is a really fun build to make. Like, it looks super fancy, but again, it does really support eco-living. Like, maybe they take energy as well from their waterfall. And they take energy from their windmill, they grow their own plants, they eat their own foods here, so on and so forth. So, I don't know, this was just so fun to make. You guys have no idea how much fun I had with this house, but again, it took a lot of work. A lot of work. So if you guys are trying to build, like I said, very detailed, with clutter and stuff, expect a lot of work, expect a lot of time put into it. It doesn't just happen, you've got to have patience, and you've got to really work for these houses to look nice. And then in here, as you can see, I'm finding some custom gallery paintings that I could put into this. I was picturing like a teen girl or something like that, or like a young teen or preteen girl living in this room. Like maybe this was their firstborn child. They had her when she was really, when they were really young, just getting settled in. And then their eco-friendly fundraiser, or their eco-friendly foundation kind of took off. So they've got like a pretty nice big house on this hillside, but also they're still supporting their eco-friendly green living inside. So that was just a really fun kind of process to work with. And again, gallery paintings really do make a difference, you guys. I'm not even kidding you. You can change the vibes of the house in a snap of a finger. But this was it for the speed build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know that kind of ended abruptly, but screenshots, as you can see, are showing right now. And again, if you like this video, make sure you like it on YouTube, obviously. Subscribe to my YouTube channel as well if you want to see more speed builds, some more Let's Play content, news and updates, features, videos, so on and so forth. Just stay tuned to the channel. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. And until next time, hoot out!